Welcome, everybody, to Elevation Call, the very first elevation of June 24. You're watching Team Unlimited, and we are excited that you guys are here today. It is always something I look forward to get this group together. And this is also recorded, so we do upload it and share it to our Team Unlimited Facebook page, which we are going to talk about at some point this evening. But Hal, I'm going to have you talk a little bit about, end of month. We've worked with several of you guys. I know Carlita hosted an event this past week, and
in the last week of the month,
in the last week of the month, we were so proud of her. Introduced her to Facebook Live, and I was working with Scooby in California. Nancy was working up to the very last minute, and Kelly Etzel and Linda C were working up to the very
was too, maybe Kayla.
And Kayla, yes. So all of those guys were working late at the end of the month. Some of you.
So were we.
So were we. We were trying to, but we closed the month and starting a new one. So,
but we want to recognize last month's leaderboard, and we have a bunch of people on there. The end of the month in May,
really work
almost half the leaderboard is this team right here. So there's more people on the leaderboard than they're on the call right now, I think.
Which shows you
that's good.
Something. Yeah.
All right. So let's look at the personal volume first. So your personal volume last month, which, last month was a good month to have high personal volume because of the Vibe purchase. And so, hey, you know what? We're not even on that. And we made some pretty good purchases last month.
No.
Congratulations to you all. So at number 24 is my mom, Helen Henson.
Whoop.
Number 23, Marcia Smith. Number 22, Amelia Blair. Number 21, Linda Painter. Number 17, Cynthia Wiggins. That's good to see that name on there. Yep. Shelly Johnstone here in Arkansas. That's great. Pat Poole here in Arkansas. And then Ronnie Nunn in Kentucky. So,
and let me just interject that for those of you guys who are newer, we have two ways of recognizing people who are moving their business forward. One of them is by ordering product that they can actually sell to other people through retail. And that's what Hal just recognized. And it's interesting for me. We've been in this business 7 years. And so certain people we really haven't talked to maybe in years and are still ordering product.
Yeah,
so
they get on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's one of the ways that you can build a business with people who are supplying product for their practice, like the Todds. Some people just have large families. And so we love people who are doing big purchases.
So just for example, of course, everyone that was on that leaderboard is on our team.
Right.
Team Unlimited. But there's several people on that leaderboard that are on other people's teams as well, under our leadership. So it's pretty cool. The Todds have a number of people on there. Let's see, who else?
Christina has
some people on there.
Holly has some people.
So anyway, let's just, if your name's not on there, but your people are on there, that's good. All right, this is what's cool. These are people who are actually enrolling people into, whether it be a wholesale customer or a bronze pack. Of course, we had some really good offers this month with our new Vibe product. So anyway, here we go. So there's several here. At number 21, Starling Lloyd in Indiana. That's Linda Joyner's lady person. Nancy Davis in Arkansas. Georgia Chambers, another one of Linda Joyner's.
Indiana.
Rebecca Wallace, Scooby, otherwise known as Scooby in California. Laura McClendon. That's kind of good news. That's a name we haven't seen on this board in a while, but she's wonderful. We love Laura down in Texas on Steve and Jenny's team. Kelly Etzel in Missouri. Linda Painter here in Arkansas, who has several people that we've mentioned here on her team. Barbara Durkee is on. Barbara Durkee
just put somebody on chat with me today.
Yeah, she's been pretty steady with getting people just, on calls, and she's teaching her team to do that, and proud of her. Linda Joyner, number 5. We've already mentioned her. Steve and Jenny Todd at number 4. And then, like I said, we worked hard this month again, and so we're at number 3 on the leaderboard.
And this is for our region, so this does not include
United
Latin
States.
America. I like to see who on our team is moving their business forward by enrolling new people, and that's what we just recognized.
What a great month of product, man! I'm telling you, I love Vibe. I love it. I love it for my own personal.
Tell us about that, Hal. I mean, so
I feel like I hit a wall a little bit. for me. I'm getting older, and my joints are definitely not getting younger. And we've taken on some physical projects. I've been painting for the last 2 days, like a lot. I'm down the ladder and that sort of thing. But I feel like I'd kind of hit a wall with my knee joint. Uh, it was concerning to me, honestly, knowing we were purchasing this property and doing it for a nonprofit. And I didn't know that I told you, but well, I guess I kind of talked to you about it. But I was kind of concerned about my ability physically. And I started taking Vibe as soon as we got it and liked it. Then I committed to every day, just Vibe for me,
Morning
morning and afternoon.
And how much do you take each?
I just take I don't even take about a quarter of a drop.
Quarter of a drop or
quarter of a drop, or like less than half the dosing amount.
Okay.
But I can say that now I'm a little sore because it's 2 days of up and down painting and all that inside. And but honestly, I don't know that that's the only thing different that I've done is the Vibe.
Is Vibe.
And I feel pretty good. I mean, my knees don't. I mean, they're achy right now just because that's what happens anytime I work like that.
Right.
But the next day I was able to go back after it. So we'll see. But
and
I like it.
For those of you, I think everybody knows what Vibe is, but it's the combination of CBD, CBG, and CBC that is, in my opinion, and Gabe, I learned this from Gabe, that it's really the most effective way to fire the entire endocannabinoid system in one bottle. So I would love to hear, anybody else have any early results from Vibe that they have noticed?
Well, Lisa,
yes, Gene.
I was going to say, Lori and I kind of noticed we got a little bit more energy. It seems like, we got just a little bit more get up and go.
Well, you look great, Gene. I mean, because you've lost a lot of weight since you started this cannabinoid journey. You're muted, Gene.
Now I'm unmuted.
Okay, there you go. So
I started out when we first joined in Zalise, I was right at 280, and I'm down to the 230 range now. So I haven't changed my eating habits. I still eat barbecue and baked sweet potatoes, and we're trying to lay off the sweets. We do good until we come to your house and you give us those cookies.
Listen.
Don't get him started.
We had dinner last night with some friends here, and he's off of sugar, and she's a type 1 diabetic. Lisa loads them up with cookies.
I just brought him 6.
Just 6.
They're not as good as Judy Baker's either. So, we have to do second tier.
So y'all have had a little more energy. I honestly think I have a little more energy too.
Really?
Yeah.
And Gene, how much do you take of the Vibe? Oh, you're muted again.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I normally make the cocktail and I put like a half of a dropper in, but I just do it one time in the morning.
Okay, gotcha.
If I take it at night when I try to sleep, I won't be sleeping.
So you're taking about, like me, you're taking about half the recommended dosage if you're doing half a dropper.
Right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Well, here's the other thing for us, and maybe Steve Todd could corroborate this, but our systems after 6 years are pretty well probably back up and fully fueled. So what this is doing is, I don't know what it's doing, but it must be, I don't know what it's doing, but maybe it just takes less of it. I mean, honestly, I don't know what it's doing, but I like what Gabe said, and what Lisa keeps repeating is that this combination of the 4-2-1 CBD, CBG at 2, and CBC at 1, it's activating most effectively the ECS all at the same time, right, with a proper kind of dose. So I think we have a great future with Vibe. I think it's probably the best product. To me, it is by far, just on paper, it's the best product we've ever had. And price-wise, I still think it's great, even though some of the super special pricing's passed. I still think it's great. I think if you want to build your business, I think it would be easier to build with this. We still got some in the trenches work to do at corporate level with some stuff to get out from under that stuff, but with the former CEO. But once we get free of that, I think this Vibe product's really going to take off.
Well, and I see Christina posted in the chat. I can feel a big difference in my brain with my ADHD with Vibe. Haven't had this feeling with any other combo separately.
Cool.
So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Christina.
Hey,
Anybody?
Lisa,
Yes.
this is Jenny. I'd like to share results with Bob for a patient that we have, sleep patient. This patient
We'd love to hear it.
Okay, this patient has tremendous PTSD, and one appointment came into the office and he couldn't sit. He had to stand. Start him on Vibe, and a week later he was able to come in and sit in our chair and talk to us. The only thing he did different was Vibe.
Wow.
That is so
That
cool.
is incredible. That is really, really incredible. Thank you for sharing that, Jenny.
Yes, yes, yes.
We love learning from you guys. And you know, it's so interesting. One of the reasons that I look very forward to this call and just the collective that we have together with Team Unlimited is just because this product does different things for different people. Everyone's endocannabinoid system is like a fingerprint or a snowflake. And so it really helps us to learn what we're seeing with ourselves and also with our customers, our clients. So anyway, that's just wanted to make that note.
All right.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share before we switch gears
About Vibe?
about Vibe?
I would like to. I've been waiting
Mary.
for
Hey,
it.
Mary.
I've been waiting for it. I was pretty pissed off when they took Bliss away because all these things you were talking about, I'm like, and the PTSD and everything. And I was like, and I always wondered about taking the Shield and the Glow together. So I started doing that more since people were doing that.
Everything gets better.
So tonight I took Vibe for the first time. I just got it yesterday. I did a Glow and a Shield this morning. 30 on 4, please. I'm on heavy antibiotics again. My yard could use some prayers, people, to kill these ticks. But I'm getting covered with ticks. I've been on antibiotics for a month and a half. And in the past, to keep my guts okay, I started taking Shield more. Please. And even though it's not recommended, it works for me when you're on that kind of antibiotics. So when I'm not, I don't take it that much. And I don't understand how we're supposed to do. I guess you'll be filling us in about all the Shield and everything else later. But anyway, if I can spend less and help other people spend less, I think it'll be a real plus. So, and I can tell you, I do feel the difference after taking it about an hour ago.
That's awesome, Mary. Thank you for sharing that with us. And just what I know from Gabe is that this is the #1 recommended product just because of the entourage effect. The only thing that would also be a good combo would be to add Glow because it has THCV, CBDV, and CBD, right? Which is CBD is also in Vibe, but he believes that Shield being CBG is covered in Vibe. So just Vibe and Glow would possibly be better than Vibe by itself. So just for us to try.
Taking the Glow separately is not as recommended as taking it with the Vibe, you're saying?
Well, yes, because Vibe has, if you combine the entourage effect of both of those products, it's a win because you've got multiple cannabinoids. And that's the goal of the entourage effect, is to get as many cannabinoids in the body at one time as you can.
Well, I had to stay up all night tonight, so I didn't take the Vibe till tonight. I have to do a night shift, so I'm going to see if it helps me more.
Well, you'll have to report back, Mary. So thank you for sharing that with us. And you know, one of the things that we have wanted to share.
Yeah, just see what
Kayla, you have a question here
or a comment about Vibe?
Thanks. I have a question.
Yeah.
It's great with the Vibe. I get that. Now it's going to be the increased cost. People will all have their own different incomes. If you had to pick what would fit somebody's modest income, what would be, in addition to Vibe, that perhaps Gabe would recommend? Because I myself, I know I couldn't afford Vibe, Glow, Shield, the whole 9 yards. So I guess if you had to pick something in combo to see if it's going to give you the most bang for the buck, what would be that combo for them to start out? And certainly if it doesn't work, if they need additional cannabinoids, then what would be the next step instead of just piling on everything at one time? Because I think then there's too many variables.
So I'll answer that. First of all, I think the Vibe by itself, I think people who've never taken and fueled their cannabinoid system in an effective way, like what we can do with our products, I would recommend Vibe straight up. You said if someone wanted to add something to that, your question was, at that point, I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on what their need is. And it would vary, I think, for most people that can do it. And again, this is a pretty pricey deal to go with Vibe, even at our great price. Of course,
Yeah.
moving forward, it's going to be a little less. If someone could do Glow with it, maybe not every day, but maybe get one bag of Glow, add some Glow in there 2 or 3 times a week, that would help with some of that cost. Of course, I also want to remind everyone, especially the ones that are on this call, the best way for you to be able to afford these products, because this is how our company is designed, and that is to share with others effectively. Learn how to do that, become an attractive person with your story, become someone that people want to sit down and hear their story with, want to hear from you, so that you can build your team, so that you can get paid and you can turn that money then into income, so that you can afford, anyone can afford the products. It takes a while to do that. But back to your question, I would start people on Vibe. They get CBD, CBG, and CBC all in the same bottle.
I
If you were to
agree with
split
that.
those, yeah. And then as far as, if someone honestly has skin issues, or pain to the touch, they might want to go with, they might want to add our topical. Another person might want to add a Lachey product, depending on what their need is. But for overall general health, I would say our Vibe product is sufficient. And then if somebody, sees benefits from that, honestly, if they don't see benefits from that, they're not gonna add anything anyway. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's the best way. That's the way.
From a business standpoint as well, what I love about Vibe is that it is 100 to 120 in business volume. So literally with one product, you can really maximize the comp plan. And I love that $100 duplication model.
Well, you can maximize the comp plan because it positions you with one bottle to become an active ambassador with your purchase, can store points. You can do all the things that they pay us for with the foundation of 100 BV. So if you have 50 BV each month, you're still active, but you can't maximize the comp plan. So it's the first time they've ever had one product, that one product alone actually hits the 100 mark.
Right.
And we've been asking for it for years. Stephen would never do it. We've been asking corporate to do it. And with this product, they were able to do it and still keep it affordable because they pay us off BV. So when we look at the price of Vibe, $159 on our wholesale, unless you got the special this month. You say, wow, that's more expensive. Well, they're actually paying higher BV, which means that we get paid a little more. So
I see Christina commented about free shipping. Lisa Gladys is on the call tonight.
Awesome.
First elevation call she's been on.
Welcome to Gladys.
Super. Well, welcome to the call. All right, let's move on to
let me just
Hey, Lisa,
Linda,
can I make a suggestion?
oh sure, Deb. Hey,
To save cost, if you're on the auto ship, you can get any of the other products like Glow or Shield free with your star points. So if you're on an auto ship, you can use that to help save your savings. Take it every other day with the Vibe. That's what I'm going to try at first, because I still have some in product in stock anyway. So I'm going to try every other day once I get the Vibe. I don't have it yet. But that's what I would suggest to people that maybe can't afford it or on a lower income, and just suggest that.
That's a great point, Deb. And thank you for reminding us. Points like if you've been in the company for 2 years, you are maxed. Every dollar you spend, you get a quarter back in free points
When you
every
say
single month.
maxed, it's the percentage they pay back in star points. You start at a lower percentage when you first start,
5%.
and then after a while it builds up to a 25% of every dollar you spend they give you in star points. So, and then you can pick what you want. They used to just send you product. Now we get to pick what we want. And so if, like, to Kayla's question, if there's someone that maybe wants to add something later, maybe, they could get at least
That's good
bag free.
information. That's great information, Hal, for Gladys, because this is all new to her. So that was good for
Sure.
her. Thank
There's
you.
several people that knew.
Yeah, because I have one customer that's only been with me a year. And I had to remind him, it's like, you have over 700 points. You got to order some free product, even if you're going to share it with somebody else.
Okay, so let's translate that.
Coffee,
Let's translate that. So
Yes.
that person with 700 points after a year of ordering product and being healthy, obviously, whoever this person is, they keep ordering it.
Yeah.
Must be working. But, after a year of ordering products, they have 700 points, star points. What does that mean?
He's already used some of the free product. I suggested last month, I said, what if your wife's not taking anything? Why don't you order some skin products for her? So I ordered some body butter, some face cream, and things like that. So, or buy something you can share with others.
Well, but the point is that's well over $1,000 that if you were to go out and buy that or go back to Zalise and buy it, just buy it in an order, it'd be well over $1,000. And so, you can use those points to redeem them for product. So but you get those points by being on auto ship, and auto ship is super important. The points do flush. Do those points flush too? Don't they?
Auto ship. If you stop auto ship.
If you stop auto ship, yeah. Right. In other words, they go away. It's like flushing the toilet; they go away.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all right.
And here's one question from. Yes.
It tells you on there too if you have to use so many.
Right.
You have to use them up by a certain time.
I think they're good for a year.
Well, it's helpful. Here's the thing, Deb. You're familiar with your back office. You spend time in your back office. It's part of your business. When you're as a lease ambassador, they provide for you a multi-$1,000 back office. It's a duplicated site, but nonetheless, it's provided for us really for free. They update it or try to as much as they can, and it's available to you. And so one of the many things that they do in that back office is to show you how many points you have, and so be familiar with your back office. It doesn't mean you're going to get familiar overnight, but spend some time there. And again, if a person owned a hamburger joint, restaurant, and they never paid attention to their menu, or they didn't ever go in the kitchen, they didn't pay attention to how the business was running, all the details of it, they probably wouldn't be very successful. And it's the same with this. And there's if you want it to be a business, if you're on for just product, you don't have to do all that.
Right.
And so anyway.
So Linda Joyner's question.
Linda Joyner had a question.
Hang on just one second, Lorena. She said,
Okay.
So would you say that if a person has chronic pain, like knees, joints, fibromyalgia, we should recommend Vibe as a go-to ?
Well, again, I'm a person who has had chronic pain for many, many years, and for multiple reasons. And I can tell you that when I first took CBD, just plain old CBD 6 years ago, it changed my life. I had never fueled my system. So that helped. That was helpful. When they came out with CBG, I noticed some difference. When they came out with Glow and Vibe, I didn't really notice much difference. Shield and Glow, I didn't personally notice much difference with it for me. So this is the first time in 6 years that a product I feel like has helped with my joint. And I don't know if this is just joint. I think it's probably the tendons and muscles and so forth around it. I've really got bad knees, like really bad.
And let me ask if I can impose on if Steve and Jenny are driving. Dr. Todd, what would you recommend for a person who has chronic pain?
Ooh, chronic pain.
We're back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at y'all.
Well, it's interesting. I think I've got to talk or speak tomorrow on CBN, and things like that. But anyway, you know, cannabinoids affect a certain pain pathway, and they actually can directly affect that pain pathway. So that's very interesting, and I think that Vibe probably truly does affect that pain pathway better than probably anything we've had to lower the pain threshold of people so they can manage pain better. I think that's the biggest thing it does is it allows you to handle the pain. It doesn't really eliminate the discomfort. What it does is it changes your mood and your anxiety level and adjust it so you can manage your life better. So I think that's really cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And I think Lorena had a question.
Actually, information.
Oh, let's hear it.
I've been looking at the travel dollars.
Oh,
And
good.
I could not find it in the back office. And I looked hard. So I ended up calling and talking to John, and he gave me the website. So y'all might want to get a pencil and paper. And it's starclub.zalease.com. And then there's a pull down menu, the 3 lines. Click that and it'll say travel points or something about travel, and then the star points to redeem them. So, and you can get on the star points or the travel points, and you can redeem your points. I'm just searching at this point, but I was really surprised because we have to go to a different website
In order to redeem that.
Yes.
Lorena, this is Kayla. Can you put that in the chat session?
I'll try.
That's a good attitude, Lorena. Look at you, man. She's an I can do kind of girl.
My moments.
Good information there.
Thank you
Lorena.
so much,
Thank
Lorena,
you.
for your leadership.
And
on
we
that.
have heard in some of our other leadership calls that the travel cards, travel points, people are really liking them and using them, and it's benefiting them. So
Is Christina, are you trying to say something?
I was gonna say with the dosing on Vibe, remember that it's, you know, kind of 0.5. So that's more than the majority of us are kind of used to seeing on the bottom when we're taking it. Because Hal said he was taking, you know, 0.25 or a little bit less. He's been on it for 6 years. So when we're talking to people about getting them on this and what's the dose for them, remember to start low and go high. Because if we start them out too high, they're not necessarily going to feel the results or have the adverse results. We kind of want to build to that instead of starting at that. So I've noticed it doesn't take as much as it does with the other products.
right.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I would agree with that. I think that's a good point. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
Who's driving you tonight?
You look beautiful.
Who's driving Miss Christina? Look at that
Hey,
handsome.
Chris.
Look at that handsome man. Hey, Chris. Hello.
Good to see you
I always have
guys.
a chauffeur.
That's
That's
great.
awesome. Thank you for chiming in, Christina.
All right.
All right,
We're
so
going to move
we
on
really
to
have
a couple of topics.
Just 2 more things, and one of them is a question for you guys, and that question is, and there's not just one right answer for this, but I want to create a little bit of conversation, especially because, you know, we have Gladys, we have a couple of newer people, we have Carlita, who's
Hey, Christina, can you mute your turn your video off? You're bouncing around, making me seasick.
but you look like
You
$1
look
million
awesome,
bucks.
but you're moving too much. Thank you.
So here's the question, and I would love to hear from you guys, and your ability to answer this is partly dependent on how much time you've been in this business. But here's the question. What does it take to move your business forward with Zalease?
Action.
Action. What was that?
I just said action, but somebody else probably had a good answer.
That was good, Lorena.
I would say
He used one word,
persistence.
I gave 2. I said
What was
time
that?
and
I would, myself, it would be persistence. Don't give up.
Persistence. You're a
What
good
did Mary
example.
say? We didn't hear what Mary said.
time and effort.
Time
Time
and
and
effort.
effort. Okay, good.
Excellent. Anybody else?
Education. You got to know your products.
Education. Good job, Jean.
Consistency.
Okay.
I love it. Persistence, consistency, Nancy?
Repetition, repetition, repetition.
Repetition, spoken as a beautiful school teacher.
Call back, call back, call back.
There you go. That's a really good point, Judy. That's a very good point. Anything else?
Widen your circle of influence.
Widen your circle of influence. How do you do that, Susan?
Just by as it was said by Ginny Todd to me, you just have to keep meeting people, Susan.
Right. Right. Somebody else was going to say something, I think.
Lisa, this is Kayla. Lisa can attest to this. I've been working on two physicians for 6 months. 6 months. Me and my personality, knowing as it is, I'm ready for them to either poop or get off the pot. They're supposed to get back to me tonight now after 9 p.m. But I've been working with them for 6 months.
Yep.
So what word would you use to move your business forward in regards to that?
I know the one thing that would help me out, and Louise touched on this several weeks ago. I think when you look maybe at the demographics and the age population of the majority of the ambassadors, me included, we're not real tech savvy. I'm not real good at creating flyers. I'm not real good at social media pushes. I know he had touched on that one time about do this, do that, do this, do that, go on Instagram, and my head was spinning. I had to go have a Brandy Alexander after that call because I was like, holy heck.
So what word would you use?
For the 6 months.
More education from leadership.
Education on leadership?
More education from leadership. Maybe templates for flyers.
Okay, thank you.
Plug in your contact information.
So other people, so you need other people to do some more stuff. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Who
else?
Happy to put templates in the back office. Have slide decks where click on this.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Just no doesn't mean no.
No.
Because if they don't say no, I'm going to call them back until they say no or not say no.
And so there's some persistence in there.
Because they're not ready. They're either not ready or not hurting enough, or they just don't have the money at the time. But that doesn't mean they don't want it.
Good point.
Any other?
We just got those tear off sheets in the mail.
Very good.
Use your upline.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Gene's got his sheets, and yeah, absolutely.
Leverage your upline, your team.
And I love all these comments. I want to share with you guys 2 things that I really have found to be true in 7 years in this business and in 13 years in my previous business. But number one, this is not sales. It's a business of attraction.
Say that again.
This is not sales. This is a business of attraction.
So what does that mean for you? What do you have to do?
So
in a business of attraction.
In a business of attraction, people buy from who they like and trust. And if you're not satisfied with your level of attraction or duplication or sales volume or rank, then you have to look at you. You have to develop a better version of you.
You have to become, in a business sense, in a life sense, not physically. Even though I think it does make a difference, it will make a better, more attractive person. But you have to become, you have to choose to be and understand that this is a business of attraction. And if you're not having success and you've been at it a while, there's a part of what is happening is that people are not attracted to what you have. And I don't mean your product. I mean your personality, your way of communicating and listening, your energy, your coming across in a positive way. Most people really, they want to be around people who they believe that they can, like Lisa said, trust, but more than trust, that they want to be around people that they know care about them, and they're attracted to the way those people are. And so what we're saying is that to be successful in this business, all of these things are true: patience, persistence, creativity, education, tools. All of those things are super important. But you can have all of those, and if you're not an attractive person, consistently, you can't be successful in this business long term or even short term.
And I have to tell on myself, because when I first started in this space, I thought I was all that in a bag of chips because I was a nurse and I was writing a fitness column in my local paper, and I was pretty self-important. Judy, she's laughing at me. I thought, people will do what I tell them because I'm smart and educated and because I write for the newspaper and I make recommendations all the time. And I, in 13 years, had very, very modest success in that first 13-year business. And I got to a point where I was sick and tired of following successful people around. Like, I had friends that were rock stars in the business. They made tons of money. They traveled a lot.
You were a groupie.
I was a groupie.
You weren't successful yourself.
No. And I remember the point at which I'm like, I am so tired of just pretending. I'm so tired of not being the person that I need to be in order to lead my own team. And that was a point that I decided I had to do things differently. And that was the point that I got very serious about my own personal inventory. And
when you say
what is my attitude?
You mean your products?
No.
Oh, what do you mean?
My personal characteristics. And do I have a spirit of arrogance? Am I a know-it-all? Am I pushy? Do I have low energy? Am I not saying the right things? Am I too sales oriented? And all those questions that go in my mind have really led me on a path to reading the right books, listening to the right mentors, following Steve and Jenny Todd around. Two of the greatest people in the business, because of the humility that those people have, the love that they have for other people. And I mean, Steve's got more education than, a lot of people I know, and you would never know it by how he acts. And so the opportunity to be in a team setting where we can observe who is the one that's succeeding and what is their attitude toward the world and themselves. And we study people who are successful. And that's really what I love about this collective, this mastermind, is that we can learn from the things we do well, and we can learn from the things that we don't do so well. It is the most forgiving business model in the world, because tomorrow you can start doing it a different way.
Linda Joyner has let me read this. So we have resilience. Let me just say there's a few other things. Oops. But let me read this, Linda, unless you want to say it yourself. You're on now, I see. Do you want to say it?
I can.
Yeah,
okay,
let's
please
hear
do.
It. I say attraction. When you're talking about attraction, we're all attracted to different people, and everybody's not going to be attracted to you. But trust and attraction and influence comes with time. And that time, it comes from building relationships. It doesn't happen overnight. So you never give up. You stay focused on why you're doing what you're doing. Let that be the motivator. And you can't win everyone, but you can win many someones. Be your authentic self at all times. Seek wisdom from the highest of power. Give people what they need, and you will get what you need. Ask, ask, ask. Learn your strengths and growing edges.
Woo!
Woo!
Preach.
Drop the mic.
Preach. That's awesome. See, now here's the deal. To me, what she just did and said is very attractive. I mean, it's so positive, uplifting. And she's on the leaderboard, and she's got people on her on the leaderboard with her, because she's attracting people with that kind of spirit and attitude. And like she said, it did not happen overnight, and it didn't come easy. I know it didn't for her.
No.
But she continues to grow and expand. And even in Zalise, you've had some moments where you kind of wanted to maybe not give up, but
Slap someone.
slap somebody. You know, it's like people weren't doing the right thing, including corporate and Hal and Lisa.
Can't be us.
She slapped us around a little bit. And you, Linda.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say the other thing, if y'all have spent any time with Linda Joyner, I always tell her, if you don't make it as a chaplain in the hospital, Linda, I think you should be a stand-up comedian, because she has such generosity and such humor in how she just interacts with people. And talking about attractive, like I follow her around when I'm in Evansville, because she is just a fun person, and she sees some of the hardest, saddest things in her normal day job. So Linda, thank you for sharing your philosophy of leadership.
All right.
We're glad
well,
you're
let's
on our
move on
team.
to our next topic. We're not limited on time, but we don't.
Yeah,
So
we
that
have-
was awesome. That's a great way to end that segment, Linda. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And you guys all inspire us.
All right, let's move on. So
last thing I wanted to comment about, just to give you guys a little historical perspective on Team Unlimited, the Facebook group. And we started Team Unlimited 7 years ago. And
who's we?
Well, our team, me and Nate.
No, you and Nate did.
Me and
it was
Nate.
your team. It was formerly what? Something Evansville.
Yeah, it was like
it was before I got
an
involved.
Evansville team at the time. And I remember getting pushback from my upline and mentor that we were starting a Facebook group. Yeah. And
in the business, your upline mentor who's no longer in the business.
Who's no longer in the business. And neither is her upline mentor. And so a Facebook group was, to me, a way to have kind of a team identity. It was a way for us to get information out quickly. It was a way for us to share stories. It was a way for us to post important files. And so I really protected that team Facebook group. And I'm really glad I did, because as we said, that upline and their upline are no longer with the company. And two uplines from us had their own Facebook group that we shared a lot of people with. And when they left the company, they tried to take the people
from our Facebook
group. So it's a sensitive topic. And when you as a leader have gone through the work to create a team of people who you love and you would protect at all costs, then you have to really define what the Facebook group is for and what it's not for. What I love, the best thing about Team Unlimited, is it gives those of us who are working the business, those of us who are learning things, those of us who have testimonials, videos, files, that we can actually share those and have everyone get to benefit from that. And I see now, with the benefit of history, that in 7 years we've learned a lot as a collective group.
But the other thing that you've used it for is doing a live in the team for important messages, reminders, education, encouragement. And you do a lot of lives. You take the time to do those on that, because it's your team. Every single person in Team Unlimited is on your team. There's not a person in Team Unlimited, there shouldn't be a single person in Team Unlimited Facebook group that's not on your team. But for many of you, there are people in that are not on your team, like your downline team. We're all in this together, but on that. So Lisa teaches on that, and I teach on it some. So we use it for many different things.
And, obviously, a lot of times if people are just coming into the business, they don't really know the difference between like Zalise University and Team Unlimited. And it takes a minute to kind of sort that out. Like, so what's the difference between Zalise University, which is a corporately endorsed Facebook group, and everything they post there has to go through compliance. And so they don't have as much content as we have on our Team Unlimited page. So just to kind of make sure that everybody understands that it's really a privilege and a benefit for us to have our Team Unlimited page. And Karen Hale, I know she's awesome. She'll go tag somebody from a video that was done like 3 or 4 years ago that we've forgotten about, and she remembered about it, and she brings it up to the top because we have these amazing videos that we've taken of stories that would make you cry, and they really have happened. And those people are often still using product. But what I want to make sure is that we understand also what it's not used for. And that is really just as important, because I don't want the Facebook group to ever damage anybody. And if you can imagine, if you've got a team of people who are on auto ship and they're buying product, and that volume counts for you, because we know that not everybody you talk to jumps on the team, that it does take work, it takes follow-up, it takes persistence. So it is not for the weak. But once you have those people, and somebody would post something on Team Unlimited and say, hey, I'm selling Shield for a fire sale.
No. So let's be specific, because this happened.
Yeah, this has just happened this week.
So we want to be clear. What we want to say is it's not to sell your product at a discount.
At a discount.
We've come out with Vibe. And so some people say, oh, I've got all this Shield. I want to sell it. Where's the best place to sell it? Oh, I'll just post it on Team Unlimited, because those people are basically easy targets for my product.
And then, because we've created demand, we have created the team, and therefore it is not fair for somebody to go in and sell to Linda Joyner's downline their discounted Shield. It's not fair to Lorena's downline. It's not fair to Deborah's downline, because she's done the work to create a team.
Now, we have had, let me just say, we have had on some discontinued products.
Like R&R.
R&R is one, where that product's discontinued and somebody wants it, and they've gotten approval to post and say, hey, team, we do have this product available if anybody wants it. It's no longer available. I have some. Or, something like that. Not recently. Okay, Lorena, I'm not saying we have it now, but I'm just saying that kind of thing has happened in the past. You've gotten permission from us to post a non-available product. If they buy, for example, you have extra this, okay, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. You have some extra. You're not selling it. So you post it, say, hey, anybody want this? I'll sell it at the discount. They're not on your team. Somebody not on your team calls and says, yeah, I'd love to buy it at a discount. Well, the person who recruited them makes absolutely zero on that. Nothing.
And it really, even though I'm not saying that people do that intentionally, it is very unethical. So I just want to make sure that we're all aware of the fact that if you have extra product, then what you do is you sell it either on your own Facebook group or in your market, but not on our
or
group
you use
Facebook.
it.
Use it, sell it, give it away. Do what Linda Joyner does and give gifts when people come to meetings.
So that's one of the things that we needed to address.
But there's another thing that we don't do on our Team Unlimited group, and that is complain. Posting negative comments will not only get them deleted, but potentially will get you deleted. And I'm not saying anybody, on this group chat, but this is a recorded call, and there's people I'm going to send it to, because they think that the way that they can solve problems is to post something negative on Team Unlimited for a lot of new people who are on Team Unlimited who don't know. And the way that you deal with negative things that happen to you is I have my phone on all the time, and Hal has his phone on all
Doesn't
the
mean
time.
we're available all the time.
You can always text
reach
us. When support is not open. Obviously, support is a great route in order to really get any kind of fire sale, or any kind of, what am I trying to say, a dumpster fire that happens. Call support, but at the same time, if you're sending an email to support, you can copy me, lisabellrn@gmail.com. That is, I like to know what's going on, but we don't post it on a Facebook group because it's not always monitored just immediately, and we just don't want those things to be on Team Unlimited. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, just about the Facebook group?
Yeah, I'd like to just give a shout out to Rhonda Holmes for making it on tonight. She's been on in the past, but good job, Rhonda.
Way to go, Rhonda.
That's
awesome, Jean.
She's part of Mary's organization.
Fantastic. We are so glad to have her on. Thank you, Jean, for letting us know. Welcome, Rhonda. Thank you for letting us know. All right, guys, that is, really what we had tonight. And we love to hear from you guys. If there's any other questions or comments.
We just want to, we want to welcome new folks that are on the call. This is family. We're in business. This is business. I mean, for us, we've been doing this. Lisa's been doing this for 7 years. I've been doing it for 6. we spend a whole lot of time every week helping people try to build their business, answer questions, building a team, supporting, as well as a whole lot of customers. And so every once in a while, we need to, I think a couple of things hit this month that we just needed to address tonight with our team, with you guys. And again, in large part, this, there are people on the call tonight that need to hear this. And there's a bunch of people outside this call who don't come to the call, but still want to use the Facebook site as a place for them to dump product for whatever reason. So anyway, we're correcting that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see Gladys now. I see Megan and Pat and Kathy. So thank you guys for being on tonight. And I'm going to give it another minute. If you guys have a question or anything that is on your mind, this is a great time to share it. Kayla?
Does anybody know if R&R is ever coming back?
Yep, it's coming back.
It's coming back.
Oh, yep. Joshua thanks you from the bottom of his pea-picking heart.
We can't tell you when
we
because
can't
we
tell you
don't
when.
know.
Yeah, but we know it's
they have
in the
told
works.
us that it's in the works to bring it back.
And Karen asked a question here. How is Angie doing? So some of you guys might not know that Angie Thompson is the CEO, acting CEO of Zalise. And I haven't seen her personally, but have you seen her on Leadership Call?
I've seen her. Yes, she was on last week's or 2 weeks ago, not Memorial Day, Leadership Call. She was in good spirits. She's fighting a battle. Honestly, she's fighting the battle for Zalise in the courts with Stephen. Her soon to be in November, probably ex-husband, CEO of the company, who really, for those of you who are new, if you want to know, tonight's not the time. I can just tell you we're in better hands with a better spirit and a better future. But Stephen is fighting hard against her. And so, keep praying for Angie. And, we're trying to be as transparent without stepping across other people's, business. We don't know a lot, but I can tell you that it's been about since November of 2022. And it will not end until November of 2024. And we think it will end then. So, how she's doing, I think she's in good spirits. But as you can imagine, if you were trying to save a company and pay corporate and lead the company as well as having, she just had her oldest daughter, like my youngest daughter, just graduated from high school, going off to college. She's got 2 more teenage daughters at home with her, living life, just like all of us, but also having all of our lives in Zalise and thinking forward with corporate products. It's all there, and no changes can be made until the court settles these things. So, we would love for it to be faster, but the courts really don't care about us. The courts just don't. So, there's a lot of evidence of courts not really caring about a lot of things all over the world, so that's what we're dealing with. But pray for Angie, and I appreciate whoever asked.
It was Karen. Doing. Yeah. And that's a great way to end. And yes, Kayla had asked me if it's okay to post. She is looking for R&R if anyone has R&R. And those are the kind of things that I'm super happy to. I don't have any extra. So anyone who has extra R&R, Kayla's going to post something on Team Unlimited and you can reach out to her. Judy says she has it, but it's old. No, you shouldn't toss it, Judy, because they say that it's 2 years dating, but it still probably has efficacy.
I have some that's 2 years old and he's fine on it.
Okay. Okay. So Judy, you and Kayla can connect.
Thank you.
Connect you guys.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you to everybody for being on this call
Y'all
tonight.
Have a great night.
We will see you on the Freedom Call
tomorrow night.
evening.
Sounds like Dr. Todd is going to be teaching.
Yes. Dr. Todd, what is the topic?
The topic is going to be Ultra Dream and CBN.
Sleep.
It's
sleep. Awesome. Jenny, are you
talking about R&R?
Sorta, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just talked about it, didn't we?
And Jenny, are you going to talk about the snore police?
I can if you want.
I want you to, because that's hysterical that there is one.
There's probably some on this call. They're
I
always
love it.
undercover. They're undercover.
Can I say one more thing? It's totally off subject, kind of, but it's not off subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know even Bo Short has said what we do is somewhat of a wealth transfer from big pharma, to take away wealth from big pharma, which I'm totally for. And I posted something on my private Facebook page if anybody's interested in it, but I think it's something we absolutely need to pay attention to. The World Health Organization wants to take over everybody's healthcare for the entire world. They've already made one dent, and it's in support of big pharma. But if anybody's interested in it, it's on my personal Facebook page, posting